All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
Here's my thing. I mean, what is it with fans? Are you upset with the name itself, the right wing back?
I think, yeah,
if you actually watch the game with the ball, he may be deemed as a right wing back. He's really a right winger. Literally, the formation switches from three at the back to four, where Aspie, if it's Aspie or Reece James, goes towards as a right back, and then you have Callum Hudson-Odoi become a right winger. So he's not really even a wing back. He's really a right winger, and then the inside forward then just tucks in even more. So I'm not really sure where this whole ideology is of, I don't really like Cho as a right wing back. He's actually not even a right wing back. He's actually a right winger.
I'm so glad you said that, because you've stopped me from having to rant.
Yeah, because I've seen this many times, and I've been saying this on my channel, and we do a few tactical analysis over there, and you can literally see many a times the positions that Callum's taking. That's not a right wing back position. That's a right winger position. Okay. And this is exactly what Thomas Tuchel wants.
This is the thing. If it was, go on, go for it.
No. I was just gonna elaborate on that point. You're right. When we play Reece James in that position, everyone knows that's a defensive mindset. That's a defensive mannerism. You play Hudson-Odoi in that position, you know you're going to be attacking more.
Yeah.
That is just that's what we've understood the whole of last season. So yeah.
But how many times did Chelsea fans say? A lot of Chelsea fans say, I don't like this formation. There's not enough attackers on the pitch.
Oh, yeah, tons.
How many? This is where I'm going to go on one. How many times did we hear Chelsea fans say, in this formation, yeah, we won the Champions League, but I'd prefer back four. Why do you want a back four? Well, it gets more attackers on the pitch. Well, this is how you get more attackers on the pitch. This is how you get more attackers on the pitch. Because when you play Hudson-Odoi at right wing back, as Miz just said, and I completely agree, he's at right wing because half of the time he's going to be pushed forward. And really, some games, both of our wing backs have been pushed forward because we can afford to do that, because the two in midfield sit, or they definitely stay in that central position. They don't tend to bomb forward. We don't have any Lampards playing in that two, or any real attack-minded midfielders. We've got DMs and then players that are like hybrids between a DM and a CM, like Kova and like Kante, but not any attacking midfielders playing in that too. So you've effectively got a back three and two centre midfielders who are quite defensive-minded. Why do you now need two defensive-minded wing-backs as well? Especially against low blocks when Chelsea dominated the ball. So you put in Hudson-Odoi over there, who's got brilliant delivery with the cross. If we are to believe the reports of the training is going well and he looks like a different player and he looks like as if he's starting to build back that core strength in his legs that he was missing when he picked up the injury, then hopefully his 1v1 and his confidence going up against players is going to get back to the level it was before the injury. I have absolutely no issue. This is not Conte. This is a progressive free at the back. So I have no problem with Hudson-Odoi playing right wing back and helping the team. This is not Hudson-Odoi FC. It's not. And I don't know if the transfer request and the buying interest and all these little things have kind of made people think that this is, but it's not. This is Chelsea. And for me, you have to be able to do what helps the team first before prioritizing any player in any position or where they want to play. Mason Mount has had to do dog work at left wing under Lampard for a long, long time. And whether we agreed with it or we didn't, it was because of the system. I'm definitely not going to get onto Thomas Tuchel if he plays him at right wing back and doesn't play him left wing, because we've got a lot of competition at left wing. And I believe in the ability of Pulisic next season as well to do better. And Timo Werner, as much as we, get frustrated with his lack of finishing, when he's not on the pitch, we can be quite predictable as a team going forward. When Timo Werner's on the pitch, we do become more dangerous and we do create more chances. We miss a lot of chances because his finishing has been abysmal, but him making those runs and stretching defenses creates more space for others as well. So I just think, look, I'd love to see him at left wing, but the reason why I said I'd like to also see him at right wing back is because I know he's not going to always be playing left wing. He's going to have to be Eden Hazard level, like consistency and ability to be playing left wing consistently in this team, or he's going to be rotated out. And when he is rotated out, I'd like him. I think right wing back would be a good spot for him when we need to play against low blocks. Eunice, you said he's more effective there as well. It's one of those things where you think to yourself, oh, I think Miz has got something here as well. Should I put this up, Miz?
Yeah, man. I just want to quickly, like, while you guys are talking about it, because this is a massive misconception, man, that people tend to think. So this is what people think, right? This is the 3-4-2-1. Yeah, this is what you think that happens on a regular basis. This is exactly how the players move, and they don't move from this particular position. Wrong. That is entirely wrong. This is just for the papers. This is just for the lineups. But when the game starts, with and without the ball, is very different. So let's put Cho here, right? So this is Cho. So literally, whoever it is here, let's say it's Mason, and Mason moves around as well. He's not penciled down.
And you don't really want Mason on the touchline anyway. You want him quite central. Mason
literally makes it at times three in midfield. And then you start seeing this sort of formation that's happening. You know, you get two up front. So Cho literally starts there. And then what happens is this all shifts to the right side. And all of a sudden, you think it's three at the back. No, it's actually a four at the back. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So you got your Thiago Silva, you got your Rudiger, you got your Chilwell, who can start taking advantage of all this space, and they can start overloading on this side. And that's Jorginho over here.
And what you're saying here, this is why when you have possession on the right-hand side in this formation, this is why I love this formation, to be honest. I do love it if it's played in an attacking way. I don't like it when it's defensive because it just becomes a back five.
Becomes Antonio Conte,
sufferable at times. Not in the first season, in the second season. Yeah. But when you create this overload on the right that you've got here, that's why the left wing back is in acres of space. Because as you said, everybody just shifts over. And then if you switch that ball across the pitch quickly, the wing back is always in space in this system. We've seen it with Victor Moses. We've seen it with Marcus Alonso. We've seen it with Chilwell now. We've seen it with Reece James. A lot of the time, how many times have we seen Chelsea on the ball and Reece James is just in acres of space on the right-hand side on his own, literally, because everybody else has shuffled onto that side of the pitch. And it's a brilliant way of creating space and opportunity, because if you manage to wriggle yourself out of any press or any possession block that you're in on the left or on the right, and you do get it out of your feet and switch it, you've just changed the whole dynamic of the game now. Because now that defensive shape is all over the place. They've got to switch all the way to the other side of the pitch and deal with that mess. And that gives Reece James or whoever's over there time to cross. And Hudson-Odoi's delivery, for me, is very underrated. I think his crossing ability is very, very good. I think he's one of the best in the team that I've seen. I don't think there's many better crossers outside of Reece James and maybe a few others, but there's not many. I think Hudson-Odoi's crossing is very, very good. And that's why I also don't have a problem with it. But we've spoken about it before with the right side centre-back that you've got there. It's either Azpilicueta, Reece, or it might be Koundé. They're more than capable of playing right back or in the right side or defending out wide. That's the brilliant part of that. They're all right backs outside Koundé, who's a centre-back, but Koundé played right back at France. They know how to defend the wide channels. And the only issue on the left-hand side is that Rudiger's not left-footed. So it makes it a bit more difficult for him on the other side if Chilwell gets forward to come out wide and defend as a left-back, because we know Rudiger's not a left-back. But all of these right-sided defenders are all comfortable at right-back if they have to. So that allows you even more to push that right winger forward and make this system more attacking. So when people say that this formation can get predictable and I want to see a back four, this formation it doesn't even have to stay this formation in game.
There is no formation. It's just it overload. That's what it is, Matisse. Like, it's either a right-sided overload or a left-sided overload. And then without the ball, it all changes again. They all drop. Like, as you can see, what formation would you call this? Do you know what I mean? This is literally what happens on a regular basis with Chelsea.
So 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9.
This formation doesn't exist on FIFA, by the way.
Look, the bottom line is Callum does not play. People think this is where he plays. He doesn't play there. He plays here. That's why we get to...
But the beautiful thing about this formation is he gets back there to defend because he's required to do that when we are on a defensive transition.
I think he's disciplined to do that enough as well. I've seen quite a lot of discipline from him. Yeah.
So off the ball, this is what ends up happening. Off the ball, they all revert back, and then this is what ends up happening.
Yeah. And you've got the two attacking midfielders trying to block off the passing lanes to get to the second lot of midfielders, which will be Jorginho and Kante. And Mason Mount and Kai's job is to block the passing lanes into the De Bruyne's or whoever we saw against Man City loads of times, into those players that will operate in the half spaces. And then obviously everybody else is in their normal position. So I think sometimes we get too hung up on, I'll remove it now as we move on to a different topic, but this is why I think we get too hung up on the formation and the label of the position and not actually what that player can bring to the team. Because most of the fan base would like to see an attack-minded right wing back. That's why we was linked with Hakimi. That's why there's been pushes for Livramento from other sides of the fan base. That's why Dujon Sterling is training with the first team, because right wing back has been quite defensive for Chelsea, whether it's Reece James or Azpilicueta. I really didn't want to see Azpilicueta out there either, because he's just not, again, dynamic enough, skillful enough, whatever. So to put Hudson-Odoi over there and do that job for the team might not be the best for Hudson-Odoi. But remember, he's only 20 years old. Gerrard played right back. Gareth Bale played left back. It's not just because he's playing there now that's where he's going to play for his whole Chelsea career.
John Terry played in goal.
Yeah. Did you say John Terry's played in goal? You are shameless. One game. But I think if we really care, if these people really care about Hudson-Odoi's future, it's very important this season that he puts himself in that starting 11 as often as he can, because every season so far since he's broken into the first team, there's been question marks over his future, either because he's not playing or because his brother, his agent wants him to play. He doesn't want to go out on loan because his agent and his brother won't allow that. I've said that so many times on this stream. He will not be going out on loan. He's either staying or he's getting sold. And it looks like he's staying right now, thank God, because I think Tuchel believes in him. But priority has got to be for him to be on that pitch, not preferred position. And I think Hudson-Odoi would agree with that. If you ask Hudson-Odoi, would you rather sit on the bench or would you